Yo, what up? Welcome to the first episode of Bank Black and Nerd Culture, where we bring you the comic book, the superhero genre from the black perspective. You join with your man, Blackman and Robin. Uh, we're gonna flip flop on who Blackman and who Robin. I guess I'll take the Blackman title. Unfortunately, nobody ever wants to be Robin, bro. So I hate to have to relegate that to you, my man. But what's going on, bro? Black people
For
love
this
this
time, for this
superhero
time.
content. Black people love this superhero content, man. Why is it always the stigma that like we gotta be just only into like sports and music and stuff, man? What's going down with that?
Man, I don't know. I mean, if you talk to a lot of people who grew up, they're a fan of X-Men, Batman, Spider-Man, all those things, man. I just think that for some reason, if you're enjoying, a different way storytelling is made, or things look animated, it associates with being a kid and then anything that grows into that. But we're in an era where nostalgia is definitely a big part of how money's being made, and sit back and reflect on how these characters have grown and how they've grown with you. I think is a positive thing, man. Just not looked at the same way, but I think now things are changing, so we're here to speak on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We're gonna bring it to y'all, man. We're gonna bring it to y'all every week. There's no shortage of content coming out, man. We had the Snyder Cut drop, which we're gonna get into today.
Yes,
And we
sir.
got weekly Marvel content, man. WandaVision drop, which was one of my favorite shows, I think, ever. And then we got Falcon Winter Soldier right now, man. So before we get into all of this stuff, guys, if you like the concept, if you like what we're about to bring to y'all, please hit that like button. Please subscribe, because like I say, man, your boy Black Man and Robin gonna give it to y'all, and we're gonna give y'all our double shot reviews as we go along. Also, as we jump into this thing, man, we're gonna talk about the Snyder Cut today. So I guess we might as well just give them a fair warning, right? We're gonna
Yeah,
get into some spoilers.
yeah,
We're gonna
definitely
get
spoil the territory here.
Yes, sir. We're gonna get into some spoilers, man, like them old 98 Hondas, them Civics. So, yo, if y'all ain't checked out the movie, please stop, but come back. Come back, Smokey. All right. We're
Yeah.
gonna get into this thing. Y'all check it out. Come back and holler at us. So what's up, Kev? You wanna give them the recap of the Snyder Cut? We're gonna do our what had happened was segment. What had
Yeah.
happened was recap right now.
So what had happened was uh, basically Snyder was in the process of making a trilogy for DC, and that trilogy was kind of put to a halt because of how uh, the response was for Batman versus Superman. And by the time they Warner Brothers got the response, Snyder was already in the process of working with Justice League. So there was a family tragedy, and he had to stop. And the studio took this as an opportunity to bring in Joss Whedon to direct the Justice League that we got in 2017. In that process, they changed up quite a bit, things with tone, character arc, focus, a couple of different other things that you'll see if you get a chance when you get a chance to watch the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
The reason why it's called the Snyder Cut is because people were demanding to see what was Zack Snyder's, the original director's vision, and people just kept rallying. And finally, I think when kind of the promo for HBO Max streaming to come out, they took this opportunity to kind of allow him to showcase what his vision was.
Which I
Um,
love. Which
yeah,
I love,
yeah,
man. You know, as a wannabe creator of content, it's awesome when that creator gets to actually show his process in the raw, uncut version, especially if people wanted it, man. You know, because we wanted it. No disrespect to Josh Whedon, he's a great director. You know, he did a couple of the Marvel movies, and they were great. They were awesome. It's just tough to like take somebody else's footage and try to recreate it and make it your own. I see his lane being like dragged through the mud, but he is a great director. It's just he was faced with like an impossible task, in my opinion, man. But
yeah. And I think this
I
supposed
knew that was.
something.
But
Yeah, and I think this
I
supposed
knew that was.
something.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. Dog, y'all saw T'Challa fall. Y'all saw Black Panther fall from behind me. Damn.
Oh man,
I have these hanging up in the most ghetto possible way, bro. There's like, it was like
we'll
some
get it
glitch.
together. Get it together.
Yeah, my bad, y'all. My bad. That happened, but we're gonna roll with it. It's life. My bad, bro. So you want to finish up with the what had happened was on the like on the movie content.
So they brought out this movie. Turns out it's 4 hours long. And this it's overall a better film, man. It's a better film. It's an interesting look to see what streaming will do with the capability of someone putting in 4 hours of a movie, and seeing the ultimate vision. I don't think there's really don't get that from major studios, maybe from like an independent film, but
Yeah,
not with a major one, man.
nah, and yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff with that too. It's like, yeah, we were excited to get it. A lot of different factors played into it because who knows if streaming content or your streaming platforms like HBO Max would have originally put out a movie like this before the pandemic, but now we got the pandemic, people at home, and it's like, well, why not drop a 4 hour long movie? You damn sure wasn't gonna get in the theaters because oh shit, there goes Spidey. There go Batman. Jesus Christ. Jesus, bro,
Put them
that's
all down.
terrible. I knew it was gonna happen. My bad. Y'all got to enjoy it while I was there for a little bit. um, but anyway, yeah, man. Originally they were saying that Snyder probably was gonna have to chop up this 4 hour long Snyder cut that we got on HBO Max anyway if he was gonna put it in theaters. Because I mean, you ain't about to sell no popcorn with no 4 hour long movie. You know what I'm saying? There's only so many times the capabilities you can run a movie throughout the day. 4 hours don't really give you that leeway to make some money in the theater. So I'm actually glad we got the movie the way that we did, barring the tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Like with the circumstances involved with his daughter. But who knows originally if we would have actually got the movie in the form that we got it without everything happening the way that it did. So um the only thing that I hate is that it just doesn't seem like the Snyder Cut is gonna be DC canon going forward. You know what I'm saying? This isn't gonna be the storyline that we're gonna get for the rest of the sequels and the movies and everything like that. And that's the most tragic part of it to me.
Yeah, man. I agree. The whole time when you're watching the Batman versus Superman, you're hung up on the dream scene, man. You're like, what is this?
Yeah,
And I think there's a continuation of that in the film. Well, I think there is. Uh, but the whole time I'm watching it, I'm still kind of like, well, what's going on with this dream sequence? Like, that's more. I want to know more about that than I am on how all this stuff is going together.
yeah,
So I think there is definitely more curiosity. Was it on Django? You have my curiosity. Now you have my attention, right?
yeah.
Uh, so that's kind of
Talking
what I
about
feel.
great movies.
Yeah, it's kind of what I feel about it, man. But
Man, from the jump of the movie, man, one of the things that stood out to me that I was like, oh, I feel a little uneasy is the goddamn 4:3 ratio, the old school box format of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to, in 21st century, bro, we used to the damn, what is it, 16:9 theatrical way of looking at it. So when the movie initially came on and like the box version, I was like, something in me was like, I don't know if I like this. you know, but I don't think it took away anything from the movie. I think the movie was great.
yo,
What about
at,
you?
at first I thought it was like, you remember how you used to get those bootleg movies? I was like, something's going on. I don't know what it's, because I didn't do the research on what it's supposed to do as far as looking at the screen. Uh, but yeah, it kind of gave me that feel. But as I learned and kind of seeing the consensus, people were kind of like they appreciate it because they got to see the full view of what he was trying to do. And of
Yeah,
course, of course, like anything, you kind of get used to it as goes on. So but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It did feel funny. It did have that bootleg feel to it, man. You remember having to watch the dirty channels on the old school cable? What was it, channel? Channel 77.
I ain't never
Every
seen
night.
none of that. I don't know what
You
you're
a
talking
goddamn
about.
lie. You a
I don't
goddamn
know
lie. I'm gonna tell
anything.
your mama you lying. Tell your mama you lying on this channel right now, bro. You would
Yeah, I
got
don't
every
know.
now and then the picture will pop in clear as hell, and that would be the greatest moments ever. Otherwise, it was just like all fuzzy. You'd be like, "Oh shit, I think I see a nipple."
I don't know what this man's talking about.
Look at this man lying. All right. Anyway,
I did
yeah,
not stay up till 2 in the morning trying to figure out what I saw. I did not. It wasn't
yeah,
me.
yeah. My man know a little bit too much to not have never seen it. Um, man, but
You remember the
I feel
channel. You remember the
hell,
exact number.
man, hell yeah, bro. You remember the little
We're gonna have to edit
button?
this
What's the
out.
button to go back
This
on the
this
channel?
this is a I'm out. I'm out.
What's the button? What's the button that you used to push to
The
have to
channel
go
button?
back? The last. I think it was called last. So like if you're watching the
Oh,
channel, you're not supposed to be watching. You can hit the last button to go back to like the Brady Bunch or something. I felt like I was gonna have to hit the last button watching this fucking Snyder Cut, bro. It's like
oh
something ain't
man.
right. There's something ain't right. This bootleg.
Oh no.
But man, um, I like the 4 hour long version of it, bro. We just got so much more, in my opinion. Like we could probably spend all day bashing the original version, but instead of doing that, I'll just appreciate the Snyder Cut for what it was. So I think in the 4 hour long version, we obviously got more character development across the board for our heroes and our villains. I think it gave Steppenwolf more of like a reason for his villainy. You know what I'm
To
saying? And
to
you could,
live.
yeah, yeah. He wasn't just like a cartoonish like villain that had no purpose. He was actually like you could kind of relate to him. You could kind of empathize with him and like, okay, he's trying to get back in the good graces of a dark side, and um, obviously we got more of like the Cyborg story and Flash. Like Flash just felt like he was in the movie originally for like comic relief, but when it came down to actually doing something, in the final battle, it was like, yo, do we really need this nigga here? But in this one, it's like you saw that they all had a purpose and they all had to be there in order for what they were trying to do to actually work. So, um, I mean, yeah, obviously, bro, just a far and above better movie, man. But what you think about some of these characters, man, and how they were able to be built up in the Snyder Cut?
Yeah, I agree, man. Definitely more character development in the Snyder Cut than the original 2017 version. But and which is what I thought. I thought, man, I was thinking like, okay, they're gonna do 4 hours. There's three new characters. There's at least half an hour to each of those new characters, and hopefully about 15 minutes on backstory for our villains, and then 15 minutes of whatever extra stuff they were doing. That's the math I was doing in my head. Um,
You had to make sure they hit their quota.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You sitting there watching it like, oh,
It's like it's
Cyborg did not get his 15 minutes,
man,
bro.
he deserves at least 2 more minutes of time. But no, man. Actually, one of the things the positive took away from the characters that they did, and Snyder said this, it was Cyborg. Like I've seen Cyborg in a lot of different forms, and I was telling you the first time I saw Cyborg was on Cartoon Network when they used to promote the old school Super Friend cartoons,
Yeah,
and I was like, man, who's this black dude? And then and I was like, why he got one arm, man? And
yeah,
so, but they actually made Cyborg showed his relevance to him being the superhero of the new millennium. You know what I mean? Because the way he connects
yeah,
to every interface, um, and can pretty
yeah,
much kind of move and do anything.
yeah.
And
I
of
like
course,
that.
yeah, of course, they gave him the with great power comes great, you know, stuff. But uh,
Like my
I've
boy over
never
here,
seen.
great power comes great responsibility. Ain't that
Right,
right,
right.
Spidey? Holla at your boy. Oh yeah, I'm Spider-Man. My man, though.
I didn't know he talked.
Yeah, yeah. You talk. What you think he over
Um,
here mute? He just listening. He respectful.
yeah, I got you. Uh, maybe forget somehow. But
Goddamn
yeah,
Spider Man
anyway, it
interrupted
was
your
it was
point.
it was it was cool to see them trying to show like why he is a important force. And like most of the things I've seen him in, they either like break his arm or break his legs, and you're like, he's kind of seems kind of vulnerable. But they
Yeah,
didn't do that with him. They showed a lot of strength in him, And so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the Cyborg character, man. You know, and to be honest with you, I didn't know too much about his origins and his background and everything like that. You know, in the movie, man, Olivia Pope's daddy fucked him up, you know, and just put him together like you know, a monster. But it is kind of, not to get like deep on it, man, but bro, we're all turning into cyborgs, you know, in some sense, man. We so goddamn dependent on technology and our phones and shit like that. We're
Trying to work the
attached to
third eye here,
the
man.
internet. Yeah, bro. So, you know, I can appreciate and like understand, relate to the character and stuff. And I love the scene where he hooked up the you know, the lady with some bank, man, you know, as she was struggling, you know, when he was connected to the internet. So, you know, you can see that he got a good heart with him, but like you say, you know, with that power comes responsibility and everything with it. So it just, it made you want to root for the character, you know, even more. In the original 2017 version, it was just kind of like, oh well, yeah, here's another superhero, but you don't get that character development. You don't want to root for the guy. It's just like, he's supposed to be here, so here he is, you know. But now you're actually like, I like this guy.
Yeah, I agree, man. To go back to Silas, I think we talked about it. Wasn't tripped out that his dad is the same guy that created Terminator?
Yeah, yeah. So that is and I didn't even remember that, bro. He was a young man then. Still had the same amount of hair. But he was a young man then in Terminator.
I remember that. Like it was first kind of crazy death scene I seen when I was a kid. I was like, I couldn't wait to see Terminator 2. And then I was like watching this dude, and I remember him like breathing all gasping for air before he presses the button, and he ended up doing that same kind of similar death in this movie.
Was that around the same time you was watching the Dirty Channels with the back button?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
You would flip to the Dirty Channels and then flip to the death scene. You're like, oh, this is an overload for me as a kid. I see now why you the way that you are.
Oh man. All right. What were some things that you just wasn't feeling in this movie?
um, it wasn't a lot, to be honest with you, man. One of the scenes that I actually did like from the original 2017 Justice League movie was the lasso scene with Aquaman. Um,
Yeah. I know what
that
you're
was a
talking
good scene, you know, and he like was kind of forced to tell the truth. But other than that, I mean, that is the one and only scene, and I'm just like, ah, they, you know, they could have left this one in. Obviously, this movie is just the far and above better movie, man. And I may think of something later, man. But what about you? What was your takeaway? What didn't you like about the movie?
man. I wasn't. I'm still not the biggest fan. They haven't really sold me on Flash yet. Um, they really haven't. I think they try to say, "Hey, Ezra, be Spider Man," and he's Flash, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a different cadence to him, and I mean, I didn't read all the comic books, and most of my Flash reference point of references from
Did you just?
cartoons.
No, you did just try to sneak in a fart.
No, I didn't do that.
We saw that shit.
There was
I'm
no
gonna rewind it.
uh, reference. There was none. I was moving around in the chair, man,
All
trying to
right,
get
my bad.
comfortable.
All right.
Why when we talk we got to go there, man? Like it doesn't have to be that, but you just
I
take it.
saw you do it. I saw
I
you. Okay.
bring my stuff out in the open.
you you farted on us. You America. Uh yeah, Kevin just farted on us. My
You know I
bad,
take
bro.
pride. You know I take pride in that. I would have told you if I did it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna keep a fart count going forward, guys. So every time Kevin fart on camera, we're gonna flash on the screen. And it can be a drinking game. Every time Kevin farts, you gotta take a shot if you're watching.
You know why he does this.
Now anyway, man, I get what you're saying about Flash. So in the original movie, I absolutely agree. I think that he was just overloaded with the comic relief part, like you're saying. I like the reference to what you're saying about, him just trying to they probably gave him direction of like, yeah, just try to be Spider-Man or whatever. I didn't think in this version, even though it's a longer version, um, I didn't think he was too bad. It was okay. He had his little quibs or whatever. It was cool. I definitely liked his love interest. Um, she was nice. We definitely need
Uh,
more of her.
I think the last name is Clemens or something. I don't. I can't remember her full name, but I've
Yeah.
seen her in other stuff. And she's good, good actress. Oh, you remember that movie Dope?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Mm, You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have to check it out. Is she in it?
She was in Dope with the guy who played. Man, he's in a lot of projects. He played in the Wu Tang series. And man, he also played. He was the voice of Miles Morales in the Spider Verse movie.
Okay. Okay.
So he was in that movie. It was actually
Shout out to
produced by.
another great movie.
Yeah, yeah. He was that movie. Dope was actually produced by Pharrell. So anyway,
No shit.
she's in that movie. That was the first time I really saw, paid attention to her.
Yeah. I definitely
Um,
have to go back on that one.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't mind the Flash, man.
they calmed him down. They there were a couple good moments that he had in the movie that was, I think, better. But I'm
Yeah.
still not sold as him being
So you,
the
you're not
Flash.
looking forward. You're not looking forward to the Flash movie.
I'm looking forward to what the Flash movie brings to the DC, DCU. So, um, because after that point, they're supposed to try and do other different things, and I think then DC is just really cool with just kind of giving us different stuff, man. I don't think if it connects, great. If it doesn't, they're fine. We're gonna go see it regardless, just because we're.
Well, that's what I don't like, man. I feel like that's what their way of thinking is that, man, whatever, we can put out whatever we want and people still gonna go see it because, it's the characters. But just given the comparison of what Marvel has been able to do with their connectivity and the unity that they've had for the past 10 years, man, when you compare it like that and when you know what could be, then it's like, oh, this kind of sucks. Like I've always had the dream of having the Christian Bale Batman from the Dark Knight trilogy be intertwined with the Man of Steel Superman, and all the characters that we have now in the Justice League. And you have that background, of the main characters, and then have them link up with this new DCU or DCU, and whatever it is, and that be what you have going forward. And really just have the Snyderverse going because he obviously laid the groundwork for everything that was supposed to be going forward. I would even like to see the Heath Ledger Joker, rest in peace to Heath Ledger. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to have him, but still have his comic background from the Dark Knight trilogy, even have it tied into the Todd Phillips Joker movie, but have that be his origins. I know I'm going on the deep end, man, but this is what I would like to see, and this kind of shit that Marvel does. That's what makes us love those characters and love those storylines. You know what I'm saying?
I I I see what you're saying, and I don't want to say it's not gonna happen because I didn't. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that I think was going to happen as far as media goes, but uh, and that might be something DC's looking at, but not now. Maybe like 10, 15 years down the way. You know what I mean? Maybe 20 years
Yeah,
down the way. Depends on if Chris is like, man, I need to check. You
yeah.
know, but I don't see that happening. You know.
No, I don't either, and that's what makes me sad, man. We're gonna be old black nerds at that point, bro. Shit. I mean, we'll talk about it if it comes, but I
Yeah.
don't I don't see it happening. But
But like I said, DC just until they figure out exactly what they want to do, I think they're okay with doing the you know I guess they'll look at it like kind of like Elseworld stories, where it's just kind of like different multiverse,
That shit
multiverse
gonna get
story.
all screwed up worse than X-Men movies if they start doing that. Timeline all out of whack and don't understand shit. um so what about, speaking of like canon and connectivity and everything like that, you could kind of see what they were alluding to, what they were going for. And you brought up a good point. You talked to me off screen that this could possibly be tied into the comics version of the Flashpoint paradox, right? Is that what it was called?
So they're gonna. I think the next plan for the Flash movie is to bring in that. Well, that they're already talking about that Flashpoint paradox,
Yeah.
and if you read that comic, it's what started the newest version of DC at this point. I think right now they're trying to get out of that point in the comics where they're at. They're resetting again. But basically Paradox was a reset and it was a different version to see uh the heroes. Uh, They did an animated movie about it like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Uh, I know people ain't really big on animated movies, but it's worth checking out, man. I always if I get a chance to recommend animated movie, that's one of them.
I got you. I
Um,
got you. What you thought about the closing sequence, man? Like, I kind of thought the movie was over. I had to like check my phone. I was like, damn, they said it was 4 hours long. It seemed like it got like another 20 minutes. So after Justice League, the characters were victorious, I guess you would say. All the closing scene, and what would you call it, like the vision or the dream
epilogue dream
sequence?
scene.
Yeah. Yeah, what was your takeaway of all that, man?
Man, I
Seeing
actually,
Superman become a villain and all that.
I think uh so as far as like the breakdown of it, the way it was cut into the movie, some people I've heard was like, I didn't even know there was an epilogue scene. And I had
Yeah.
messed around and saw a trailer beforehand. So I was waiting for that. Like that was the whole reason why I ended up watching the Snyder Cut. I was like, okay, what is he gonna bring in more of the dream world aspect into it? Is that coming to fruition now? Like
Yeah.
that's what I was more, like you said, more interested in. As far as what I saw, um, definitely I thought it was cool. It was cool to see them in that type of setting.
Yeah.
I think the whole reason why Jack Snyder kind of wrote Superman the way he wrote him was to kind of get him to that stage. And if you I think there's an interview out where he talks about like where his plans were further on, which included him becoming a villain, Batman somehow dying off, and then everything coming back to Superman again. So he kind of was a hero,
Mm.
villain, hero story. And I think
Okay.
Zack Snyder was really more interested in giving that story. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people happy about it, but
Man, yeah, I'm again, this is just part of my disappointment. I have no disappointment in the movie. I'm disappointed that we don't get to explore that shit more because it seems like it was mad interesting. I want to see what actually drove Superman to become the villain. What sparked it? Obviously in the last 2017 version, Lois Lane wasn't pregnant, but obviously in this one, it showed the pregnancy test at the beginning, and it showed Bruce tell Superman, congratulations, at the end. And then you have the Flash scene, the vision scene or whatever, where obviously he's a villain. So did that have something to do with it? Because obviously Lois wasn't there. It seemed like maybe she had died in like the whole vision sequence. Just so many fucking points and so many great things that could have been, so many great storylines. The dialogue with the Joker, man, I love that shit. Having Batman talking raw, you're like, yo, rest assured, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I went to jump out my chair, bro. I was like, oh, this nigga raw. This nigga raw. Now you don't never have Batman talk slick like that, man. And that was the first time. I know it was at the end of a 4 hour long movie. That was the first time I really appreciated Ben Affleck as Batman. I was like, okay, Batman, okay.
yeah, he was ready for him, boy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I mean, bro, just so many different things. I mean, we talk about obviously that tied into, them showing the whole Robin suit in the Batman v Superman. Uh, I think he said something to allude to that. He was saying that Harley Quinn died in his arms. Her last wish was for Batman to kill Joe. So just so many different things, man. And I just hate that now, we're probably not going to be able to explore it. So, um, I don't know. They need to get their shit together, bro. DC need to get their shit together. Marvel is just head and shoulders killing them, with what they doing, bro. But anyway, so all in all, man, this is time. Drum roll, please. We got to give our double shot review. What do you get this movie overall?
Overall, man, it's better. It's a better movie. Um, if I were to compare it to something, I would compare it to uh, a Jack in the Box chicken sandwich, man. Like, you're hungry for something, you want some content, you just it's late. Yeah, why not eat it, man? Now I recommend some people watching it. If you're trying to get the same feel that you might get from other properties, superhero properties, I don't think you will.
Yeah,
And then for me, I don't know if I'm going to go back and watch all 4 hours again and again and again.
probably not.
Um, 'Cause that's a long sit.
Yep.
Um, but I would probably go back and watch the dream scene just to hear Batman have that dialogue with the Joker again.
I watch that every
Um,
night before I go to bed.
uh, so that's what I would take from it, man. Honestly. What about you, man? What do you rate this?
I I'd give it 1.5 shots, just because of what I was alluding to earlier, just because I hate that this isn't going to be a continuation. And I think they dropped the ball. I want to see more of the Snyderverse, and just knowing that I'm not going to get it,
Mm.
um, I can't give it a full double shot.
Yeah, yeah.
And guys, just to let you know, um, we would normally do shots. That was like the original plan. Like if we rate something like a double shot or like a 1.5 shot, we would actually take them on camera. But it's fucking morning right now, so we're not gonna take shots to get our day going. Sorry
Got
if
stuff
you
to
guys are
do.
watching this. Like yeah. Sometimes that shit can help you get through the day, man. Just depending on who you're dealing with. But yeah, maybe we'll take a shot of coffee or some shit or espresso. I don't know going forward. But anyway, um, I love your rating system of the chicken sandwiches, man. So if I had to give it a chicken sandwich review, I'll give it a Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Okay.
If we considering that the Popeyes is a step lower than the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, that's the pop daddy of them all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
Then
the
then
classic. It's a
it's a
classic. Everybody likes it. So
for sure. Yeah, so I give it a pop, but I give it the mild version. Not the spicy.
oh,
Uh,
okay.
so yeah. Um,
Where it's good, but you didn't it's not gonna get any better. It's like that's good.
yeah, like
That's
they
good.
fucked up and put the mild one in the bag, not the spicy one that I asked for. So it's like I wanted it, but it ain't exactly what I wanted. So yeah, that's that's what we go with. But man, what's up? I think we did it, bro. I think it's time to close this thing out, man. As always, guys, love and appreciate you guys for checking us out. Please, if you like what we're doing going forward, hit that subscribe button so you can get the notifications that we're dropping more of these things. Like I told y'all, there's no shortage of content coming out, man. This is the perfect time for like nerds. And if you're a fan of the superhero genre and the comics, this is a great time to be alive, man. Um, Marvel's coming
Yes,
out with
sir.
content every single week on Disney Plus. Eventually, I want to go back, talk about WandaVision. We're gonna talk about some Star Wars shit. May the 4th is coming up, so may the 4th be with you. Um, and look, man, I know some people may be watching this and man, like they like look at this shitty ass shit stuff falling off the wall. Got Spider-Man here, just staring at your boy the entire time. I get it. I get it. But listen, just like life, we're gonna use what we got to get to where we want to be. So you guys can evolve with us. We're gonna step up the technology. We're gonna get our stuff together eventually, y'all. But I mean, that's my positive message for the day, man. It's just like life. You, humans, it's human nature to make all the excuses in the world to not do some shit. But with me and my boy Kev, what we doing, man, we saying, hey, you know what, we want to do this. We don't have shit perfect. We're gonna do it anyway though. So y'all can
Yeah,
rock with us if y'all
I
want.
do this regardless, man. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you being on this journey with me, homie. I appreciate it was actually Kev's idea, y'all. Like Kev wanted to do this, man. I used to think like Kev was like a bigger nerd and stuff than me. But then I realized, well, shit, man, I like this shit just as much as my boy, you know. But he'll definitely help break down more of the like original comics, you know, because Kev, you had like all the original comics and shit, right?
I had what I can get, man. You know, being black with siblings, they didn't appreciate the comics. You know, what I mean, you gonna get a comic book, and then 2 weeks later, somebody got to it and tore it up. But you know, you at least got to read some of them, and then of course, you get to watch a little. Sometimes I have different cartoons or something when you're growing up, so you know.
Already. So you ain't got none in mint condition that you can
Oh hell no, man. Like it's too many kids around, too many people around. Your stuff is their stuff, or they try to sneak it, grab it. You know how it is, man. So I don't
yeah.
know too many. If it's too many brothers with mint condition comics, they had some, they read some. I know because they weren't like they were expensive, but
Yeah.
you probably get them if your mom or you had a went to the grocery store and you like you were good that day. You might get a comic book or you spend $2 or something. But that comic book ain't gonna last long, bro. It's
Man,
just
I feel you. I feel you, man. We'll get into all of that, man. But as always, peace and love to you guys. Check out our next episode that we're gonna do on the Falcon and Winter Soldier, man. So like that, hit that like button, subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Appreciate you, Kev.
all
I'll
right,
let y'all.
brother.
Peace.